Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Live Strong podcast. I'm back with another episode. I feel like I was literally just sitting here because I recorded the last episode like 2 days ago, and we're getting straight back into the new week, new exercise. Oh, Jesus, I think I'm at the bloody gym. New episode, not new exercise. And this year, I'm going to keep on the consistency of these podcasts. I don't care if nobody listens to them. Like, if one person listens to them or 100 people listens to them, I actually don't care because I've actually been enjoying sitting down and talking to myself for like half an hour, but also sort of talking out some things, like today, the concept that I'm going to be discussing, when I sort of wrote a few notes, it got me thinking and got me sort of putting my ideas together. So I've been enjoying it, and like, who cares if no one else likes it? Not me. I'm look, I do care what other people think, but I also like this. This is something I want to do, so I'm going to do it. So hopefully you might follow along on some of these episodes as we go through the year. I'm going to try and stay consistent. One episode a week. Have some guests on. By guests, I mean like my friends and family. I'm not going outrageous to try and get anyone else to talk to me, because it's all just meant to be lighthearted. Like, I'm imagining you listen to this when you're just like driving in the car. You just need something on to like fill the noise, something that can maybe make you laugh, maybe get you thinking, but nothing you need to sit down and like really stare at me and pay heaps of attention to. So they're the type of podcasts I like, that maybe every now and then give me a bit of a giggle, but they're not too deep. And that's what we're here about at Live Strong podcast, right? Now, today, you might have seen the title, you might have seen the little clip on Instagram, the little cover photo, that today we're talking about the perfect, in inverted commas, body. The perfect body. Yes, I was sort of catfishing everyone into this episode. I put some pictures of myself at my bodybuilding show on the cover photo, and I was like, is this the perfect body? No, it's not, because I didn't win, so it definitely wasn't the perfect body. But what I'm really here to tell you guys about is that the perfect body ain't existing anywhere on this universe. Okay, so I have written a few notes down. So if you see me sort of looking at my iPad, if you are watching visually on the YouTubes, just note that I've come as an organized queen today with the notes. Slay! I love that for me. So the perfect body. Does it exist? Does it not exist? Like, I sort of already cracked the code for you guys and said that it doesn't exist. But there is so much pressure in the world, as social media has evolved, it has got worse and worse and worse and worse. For you to have the perfect body, like for you to have that influencer body, for you to have, the body of all the gals that live on the Gold Coast. I know you know what I mean, or, all the celebrities that you see on the magazine look like Kim K, and all these people that we seem to want to look like. We see that as the perfect body, right? We see thin arms, we see a tiny waist, maybe a big bum, but some people might also want little legs. Like, all you see a body like that is the perfect body, but that's that person's body, and that ain't your body. And you are never going to look like that because you are not that person, right? And that's where I think a lot of people go wrong, is that they think they need to look ideally or like exactly like X, Y, and Z, where I hate to break it to you, you are not that person and you will never look exactly like them. So we need to start to try to find what our perfect body is. And that is the sort of twist and turn of the scenario, is that there probably is a beautiful sweet spot for yourself where you feel confident, you feel energetic, you feel strong, you feel amazing in your body, you feel smart and powerful, and all these great things about yourself. That probably is your perfect body around that sweet spot. But also, maybe that isn't your perfect body forever. That perfect body might change as you change in your life. You go through different phases, different ages, all the things. So first and foremost, to start off our perfect body chat, I think we need to recognize that these people that you're looking at are not you, and you will never be them, and they will never be you. And you're as good as them, and they're as good as you, but you are different. and that is okay. So you might be thinking, well, yeah, like I understand I'm not going to look like Kim K, but I do want to lose body fat, or I do want to, have a bit more of an hourglass figure, or X, Y, and Z. And when I'm saying all this, that's okay. Like, it's okay to want to change, and it's okay to, yes, maybe have a physique goal that you're reaching towards. Maybe that is losing body fat or gaining muscle mass or X, Y, and Z. That's fine, but a lot of the time people are wanting to do these things because they think that that's going to make them feel amazing, and like by transforming into this different body on the outside, that they're then going to be confident, outgoing, feel beautiful, feel sexy, all these sorts of things, where generally more times than not, all of those things, the feeling beautiful, confident, sexy, amazing in your clothes, all these things come from the inside first. So we can look to make these changes for us to be, to maybe look different, to lose body fat. I understand that. To gain muscle mass, I understand that. Look, I have physique goals, I go through phases and ages, just like I said. But I also, even when I do maybe have a bit more body fat on me, or, I haven't been training as consistently and all these sorts of things, maybe I don't feel 100% myself, or like 100% my best self, but I still feel those things. Like, maybe there's a reason why I'm not at my 100%, but even when I'm at my 70%, I still feel beautiful and I still feel confident, because that's something that I've developed within myself. And it hasn't always been that way, right? I'd put any sort of body fat on and I'd be like, I'm so fat I can't leave the house. That's gone through my head before, right? But as you start to develop these sort of skills and ways to recognize your worth, it becomes easier to overcome that, and to, realize that your skinnier self maybe isn't your best self as well. So I think take everything I sort of say, like, with a bit of a grain of salt, in the sense that I understand that some people do need to lose body fat for health reasons, and some people, maybe they have put on body fat because they've been, in really stressed circumstances for a year or something like that. And therefore they're not their best self, and they understand that they need to go back to being their best self. And so that's a reason for maybe if you want to sort of transform your physique. But I think a lot of people are reaching for, things that maybe aren't super realistic for them, because that's not them. Hopefully that sort of makes sense, as like a really like wish-washy way of me to sort of rave on about my initial thoughts on this subject. But guys, this topic was originally brought to my brain. Well, like, to be honest, I always have ideas in my brain, but if you can't tell, my brain is continuously a schmozzle. Like, ideas, like, I imagine in my brain was a picture, it would be like lots of rainbow lightning strikes, like just going bloody everywhere. It's chaos in there. Anyway, the idea to do a podcast specifically on this topic was brought to me by a bridal page that I'm in, okay? So I'm in Facebook, I'm in all these bridal groups, because I'm going to be a bride soon, and you're meant to do that shit. And sometimes people post the most randomest shit in them that like you literally have to laugh out loud. But this one, it really like brought like most of the time I just scroll past them, because I'm like, stupid, don't care. Or I'm like, oh, that's a cool idea, screenshot. This though really drew my attention, okay? So a girl had popped on the bridal page, like it's a Hunter Valley bridal page or some shit, I don't know what it's called. And she wrote on it that, this is my summary of it, that she was feeling disappointed that she hadn't lost more weight before her wedding, and her wedding was in 2 months. And she was asking for advice in the page of how she could lose more weight in 2 months so she could be skinnier for her wedding, essentially, okay? So that's what she was asking the page. Now, that's all well and good to some degree. Like, I don't think you should be doing that, but whatever. Where it took a real wild turn of events was in the comment section, okay? Now, like, guys, this is normal people in the Hunter Valley. Like, when I read through the comments, I knew people who were commenting on this post. So this isn't like weird, wacky people that you've never heard of, or like, I don't know. This was like real life humans. And I was like, okay, the world needs help. So these were the answers that literally people were giving this poor girl who was like, help, I need to lose weight in 8 weeks, whatever. Lots of people, meal replacement shakes. And the comments were like, I'm having, I just had meal replacement shakes for 12 weeks and I lost 15 kilos, or like something crazy, okay? Another thing is saying, people were telling the girl their exact calories that they ate. I ate 1,500 calories and I lost weight. And that was sort of like the guidance they gave her, okay? There was all different types of like specific diets that were being thrown in. It was just like, I did keto and lost heaps of weight. I did lady shakes and I lost heaps of weight. I did intermittent fasting. And this one, like this is multiple different, like there was like over 100 comments on this post, okay? One of them was, just drink lots of water and eat 1 meal a day. Like, I don't know if that was a piss take, but anyway, that was literally one of them. Pilates. The answer is just do Pilates and you'll lose weight in 8 weeks. This is also a good one, and they even linked their PT, which I really should have investigated more and like reported. Anyway, I actually should do that. Take that back. When I get off this, I'm actually gonna go and suss out who this person is. But this person wrote, go to my PT. They do an aggressive 28-day program, 800 calories a day. So it is aggressive, but it's really good. 800 calories a day. Oh my God, guys. I actually couldn't get out of bed. If I ate 800 calories a day, like for an extended period of time, I'd be deceased. I'm not joking. Oh, this is another funny one. You should be scared because you might put on muscle before your wedding if you train too hard. Oh, in 8 weeks. Oh, I'd love to put on some muscle in 8 weeks, girlfriend. And then a few people were saying like great things, like you should be in a calorie deficit. And then it was good advice, but like it sort of wasn't the place for people to be saying this type of advice to this person when it was really generalized. Anyway, but people were obviously saying a calorie deficit, and I was like, great, good things. And then there were like also people writing on it like, this feed is making me sick, like because it was atrocious. And like I said, there was people writing on this who I actually knew, like people I don't know, like, but I know from Newcastle, and I was like, okay, this is a bit silly, guys, bit silly. Now, hopefully you are listening on the other end of the screen and going, oh my God, are people actually, is this real life? Now it is. And I'm going to myth bust a few of these things to start off with. So, because this is literally how people think you lose fat. Like they think that this is going to work and she's going to feel amazing on her wedding day. If this poor girl eats 800 calories a day for the next 8 weeks until she gets for her wedding, she might literally pass out at her wedding. Or she'll be like so drained and low energy, she'll probably be sick, or she's going to be feeling like shit. She's going to go to bed early, she's going to have brain fog, or she's going to get blackout drunk. Like, it's going to be a serious issue. Now, my first opinion on this, guys. Like I said, some people were saying, oh, calorie deficit, you should be eating at least 120 grams of protein and these things. Great advice. However, the actual advice that should have been given to this girl is that you need to be speaking to a professional. You need to go speak to a nutrition, a dietitian. You need to go get a coach. Like you need to go seek professional help if you want to do this in 8 weeks' time, okay? Like, I understand people can lose weight. It's fine. I think I said in my last episode that actually losing weight, take this with a grain of salt, guys, isn't the hardest thing in the world. But to do it in any form of healthy way is what is hard, and to do it in a maintainable way. Like I said, this isn't for every person. Like, you know, some people have PCOS, and people have, you know, insulin resistance and different things that really causes harm for them to be able to lose weight. in any way, shape or form. And if they didn't eat, they probably would find it hard. But for a lot of people, if you ate 800 calories a day, you would lose weight, but you'd also lose your muscle. And like I said, you'd literally not be able to function as a human. But would you lose body fat? Yeah. Would you be really unhealthy? Yeah. Could you have long-term health issues from that? Yes. So like that's not on. So people shouldn't be giving other people this sort of advice. So even if you're giving the person, oh, you should be in a calorie deficit, those people will probably come from a good place, but like, I don't know, I would never just really briefly give someone like, do these 3 things, like be in a calorie deficit, eat 120 calories a day, 120 grams of protein, and Bob's your uncle, when like there is a lot more to it. So the advice that should have been given to this girl is you need to work with a professional, okay? If you want to do it in 8 weeks, that's like an unrealistic time frame. You could lose body fat in 8 weeks. You'd have to do it with some help, okay? Now, the meal replacement drinks. Let's go with this. Now, meal replacement drinks aren't the worst if they are being used with other forms of nutrition. Now, I say this because for some people, they are really time poor, and for them to have a calorie drink let's say for lunch at work, they have some form of shake because it has carbs, fats, depending what it is, it might have protein, it needs protein, but let's say this one does have protein, so we'll let it slide. They also still need to be having meals around that to actually get nutrients in their body, okay? They also need to be able to create some form of like an eating pattern. If you, for 8 weeks, just had shakes, no food, just shakes, don't tell me you wouldn't be craving food, right? You wouldn't be craving sweet things, you wouldn't be craving an actual meal, a steak, like just normal food. But like, you would be having the shakes for so long until you sort of hit a point and you would just want to binge. Therefore, you're probably going to end up potentially with some form of eating disorder or some bad relationship with food, okay? So that's my issue with the replacements. People telling this poor girl how many calories they ate, every single person is different, okay, guys? Every single person is different, and every single person needs a different calorie amount for different phases in their life. So some people start a deficit at 2,500 calories. Some people start a deficit at 2,000 calories. Some people start a deficit at 1,800 calories. This can depend on many, many, many different things in the person. Now, as they work their way through the deficit, their calories are very likely to decrease, okay? Like let's say the person's doing a 16-week deficit, okay? Just a random example, maybe after 8 weeks, they drop their calories, okay? Maybe they haven't been seeing, maybe they need to go into a bit more of an aggressive phase. Maybe they start doing high carb, low carb days. Like so many different things could happen to work for that person and their lifestyle and to be realistic for them. So by people telling this poor girl, this is my exact amount of calories I should be eating, 1, they could be causing her harm by her under eating, or 2, they could be giving her results, giving her something to really focus on. And maybe let's say this girl committed to someone's calories 100%, but got 0 results. Well, that's probably going to send her down a pretty bad path, like a pretty negative path, because she's thought that these calories were going to get her results, but they're probably not accurate at all for her, and they haven't done anything. Okay? That's why when people ask me as a coach, oh, how many calories should I be eating a day? I can't tell them. And when people like, I need help with, we have at the gym, we have ways to help people with their nutrition. So, we have solved all these issues. But people will upfront be like, can you just help me with my nutrition? Like, and just want me to like say something to them that will help them with their nutrition like that. Where it is a really long progress to improve your nutrition and create a healthy, happy, balanced relationship with your food. So yes, you can't really just tell someone to eat an amount of calories and not have any follow-up from that. Now, the different diets, the keto, the intermittent fasting, I put ladies shakes in here, but that's sort of meal replacement shakes. But so keto is actually for people with a health condition, okay? Let's just get that first and foremost way. So when keto sort of erupted, it was for people who wanted to like it erupted because people were getting results from losing body fat. And so people started to jump on the train. But a lot of people were using it because they had insulin resistance, and then therefore they were being put on keto by their doctors, okay? So people in here are telling this girl to do, you know, these diets, keto diet, intermittent fasting. And in the short term, like I said, a lot of people probably could lose body fat from doing that. But in the long term, like your body needs carbohydrates for energy. You need to get glucose into your muscles for them to work properly. Like keto is pretty much taking that away from you. So you are going to be lacking as a human if you are on a keto diet. Blank and simple. Intermittent fasting, okay? Intermittent fasting, again, has its time and place. For some people, I think it can be beneficial if they do like shift work, different like lifestyles potentially. However, it's really important that we start our metabolism and we start eating, we start our energy and our fuel pretty much as soon as we wake up. Our body needs fuel to work. Like food is fuel in the basic form, okay? So if you get up in the morning and you give your body some fuel, you're off, you're on, everything's gonna work a little bit better, you know? So intermittent fasting, like it's not on. I will never get my clients on keto or intermittent fasting, ever. Ever. Because it's not realistic for them to do for a long time. Like, no one is going to starve themselves for 12 hours of the day for their whole life. Like, without a form of negative impact. I should add that in. Without a form of negative impact. This is a good one, this one. Be scared because you might put on muscle mass if you train too much before your wedding. Ooh. Don't we all want big muscles? Honestly, if I could get big guns in 8 weeks, if you're listening to the podcast, just did a big bicep flex for everyone, and my biceps, they're actually 31 centimeters because I measure them at the moment while I'm doing my deficit. Anyway, I'm going off topic, guys. Okay, this is a big myth. People think that by training or lifting weights, you're going to gain lots of muscle mass. Bum, takes a lot of work, a lot of, you know, progressive overload, consistency of your training, correct food, correct timing of your food to gain a lot of muscle mass. So in 8 weeks, sorry, Del, you're not going to gain probably nearly any muscle mass, especially if you're not doing much right now, and especially if you're in a crazy diet. So no, you're not going to gain muscle mass in this 8-week period enough that you're going to need to get your dress altered. Like, yeah, you might gain a few little grams, but it's nothing much, okay? Unfortunately, building muscle mass takes a really long time. So when girls are scared to build muscle, I honestly tell them, well, I do tell them, I tell them honestly and I tell them normally, that you shouldn't be scared to gain muscle mass, guys, because it's a really slow progress. And if we got to the point where you had grown your glutes so much that you didn't want any more muscle on them, we could then change your training plan, okay, just to maintain your strength and, you know, maintain the muscle you have. However, not many people have that issue. I'm just saying, okay? So keep that in your mind, that especially in 8 weeks. In 8 weeks, you are not gaining much muscle mass. But also, people think that they've gained muscle mass because they've lost body fat, where a lot of the time, people think they have no muscle, but guys, your body fat covers your muscle mass. Your muscles are under your fat. So as you lose fat, yes, you're going to look like you have more muscle because your muscle is able to show through. So this is why, you know, when guys get lean, you can see their arms come out. You know, you see their tricep, you see their bicep. Or, you know, yes, girls, like you might be able to see your quads more when you get leaner, or, you know, whatever. So that's sort of something that people have issues with. Pilates, just plain Pilates is going to make you lose weight in 8 weeks. Now, first and foremost, your nutrition is going to be the biggest thing that's going to help you lose body fat. Like that is, you know, 60% of the job. Your training is 40% of the job. For me, myself and I'm not the biggest Pilates fan. Like, I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's not really my vibe. And, you know, it has its time and place, but I think a lot of people, especially in the past few years, it's become a really big trend. A lot of people have replaced their strength training with Pilates, and it has caused a lot of people to have injuries People think, oh, I'm going to strengthen my core, but Pilates is actually really hard on your core, and people generally aren't strong enough to do it. So Pilates could help you lose body fat because it's a form of exercise. You're going to be burning energy. Great. Do I think that it's the best form of exercise for you to lose body fat? Probably not. But also for this poor girl, it ain't going to work because you need your nutrition as sort of the main tip here. So Soza, get rid of your Pilates off my list. The next one was the good one of drink lots of water and eat one meal a day. You would die. Nah, you wouldn't. You could survive off one meal a day for a while, but yeah, you would become really unhealthy and sick, and like, you know, it could lead to like hospitalization down the track. So no, not on. And then yeah, the last one was everyone's saying you should eat in a deficit, which I think great advice, probably the best advice you could give this girl. But the number one advice I would give this girl is you should seek professional advice. And that is the advice. Now, guys, that was just one example of like someone asking for help on a physical goal, okay? Now, that is really common. Like, I understand, like, back to my beginning point at the beginning of this episode is that I understand a lot of people do want to lose body fat, and that is okay. That is more than a reasonable goal, but we need to have some purpose behind why we want to lose body fat, okay? Now, if for a lot of people, it's probably something to do with their confidence. They find that they'll be more confident if they lose body fat. Well, we then need to start to really dive deep into why aren't you confident right now? Like, what is holding you back from being confident in the skin you are right now, okay? And like I said, a lot of the time there's a lot more of deeper issues than I just want to be a skinny legend, right? Like, and if we could all be a skinny legend all the time, we would be, but we're not always our happiest when we are the skinniest of legends, okay? Now, I feel like I have a great example of this from when I did my bodybuilding show, okay? Now, I lost lots and lots of weight when I did my show. Definitely the leanest I have been ever. And to be quite frank with you, I was quite unhappy. Like, there wasn't many positives of that situation. Like towards the end, like I love the sporting side of the sport, but like in terms of how I physically looked, it wasn't my happiest version of me, okay? Because I was really tired, like exhausted. Like I literally would finish work in the morning, I'd go home and sleep, and then I'd have to train and walk and do all the, well, I should tell you guys, like I was doing like 1,500 steps a day, plus a cardio session a day, plus 4 strength sessions a day to look like that, plus eating in a deficit. Now, in saying that, it sounds dramatic, but I actually was doing it quite a reasonable way. Like I found it was a very manageable way for me. Like there's people who do shows who do way more ridiculous things than me. And that was sort of right towards the end, like the peaking period, like before the peak down the track, right? So like I said before, you can sort of work into your deficit, which I did. I loved working with my coach, Sherelle, and, you know, so I'm not saying that there was anything bad about what we were doing towards the end, but because I was doing so much exercise to get my energy expenditure out, and we did that so that I could still eat so much food, I was so tired. I was always hungry. Like my food focus was high. I would wake up in the morning and I'd think about food, and I'd think about every single gram of food I would eat, and my stress would be over food for that day, and planning out my hunger and planning out, you know, everything so that I could still function as a human. My work went downhill. Like it was probably the worst period for the gym, like from my show to probably like the next 6 to 9 months, because I had let so many things sort of go. Not really go. I sort of maintained what I was doing rather than evolving, which I felt in business. I was just cranky with everyone, like so many things. Even when I looked in the mirror, sometimes I literally would think that I wasn't lean enough. Like I'd be like, oh my God, you still have so much more body fat to lose. But then other times I look in the mirror and I'd literally go, you look disgusting. Like, I literally thought I looked like a string bean. I was like, this is like a joke. Like, I'd see myself training and I'd be like, oh my God, you look like you're going to snap in half, woman. Like it took my breath away of, you know, I didn't think I looked amazing when I was at that stage, right? And to me, I'd always had the goal of looking like that. But once I got there, I was like, actually, I would love a few more kg on, Dal. Like, give me some more food. Let me go out and have a cocktail. Let me go and, you know, wake up and have my banana before I start work. Because I couldn't even have a banana before I started work. I didn't have enough calories to eat it. So, like, all these things that, you know, were making me sad, I thought were going to make me happy, right? And that's for a lot of people. They think that by restricting themselves heaps, you know, maybe they do the meal shakes, what are they called? Meal replacement shakes. But they're probably going to be sad saps. And no one wants to live their life as a sad sap. Guys, I've really rambled to you all. But like, hopefully this has maybe got you thinking. Because I'm sure there's guys listening to this whose goal is to lose body fat. Again, I will preface, that is okay. And that is a fine goal to have. But like, can you please do it in a way that makes you happy and healthy? Because if you're not happy and healthy, like, what is the point? Really. The point is for you to be happier and for you to be healthier. That is the underlying of everything. So we want to maintain it. Like, nothing worse than losing heaps of body fat and then maybe you do feel great and then you put it all back on again because, you know, you did something super restrictive, or you're like, I'll just lose it fast and then I'll be able to keep it there. That's not how it happens. Like, if you don't do the same things you did to lose it, you're not going to be able to maintain it there. So that's something that we need to all keep in mind. But yeah, it's a crazy world we live in, guys. Like, social media has caused everyone to want to look a specific way. And like, I still don't think people understand like how much photos and videos are edited. Like, people edit their reels so that they look a specific way. You think, oh, that's a video, it has to be real. It's not, guys. They edit the shit out of their stuff. There's also, in the terms of like the bodybuilding sporting world, there are so many drugs that get used for people to look a specific way. Well, not even this, like in the fitness industry, I should say. So many. So if you see girls who are really lean all year round, like skin tight abs, they're generally on something that is causing them to stay like that all year round, okay? And we need to remember that all those celebrities out there, all those people with all of the moolah, guys, they get so much work done on them, like every single part of their body to look like that. And we are just normal humans who, you know, are living a normal life, which is probably the biggest slay ever. We can be proud of ourselves, be proud of our efforts. Oh my God, it's actually just started pissing down raining, lol. But be proud of ourselves, be proud of what we can achieve, and we can, you know, be confident and happy and, you know, positive in our own skin. So, bit of a ramble for you all, but super passionate about this and super passionate about people living a balanced lifestyle, because it's something that a lot of us miss, but that's when you're going to be happiest. Anyway, hopefully this was a bit of fun. I don't know if it was fun, it's a bit serious. But yeah, there are a few of my opinions on a few different things there, and I think this has been a long episode. So new episode next week will be out, and let me know if you like it, and actually let me know if you like it, comment, and I shall talk to you soon, guys. This is Olivia from the Live Strong podcast, signing out. Bye.